Educational fair use and copyright law. Copyright law protects literary, musical, dramatical, sculptural, and pictorial works, including computer programs and other works that are not usually considered literary. They must include some piece of original authorship. The work must be preserved in some tangible way. The work does not have to be published or registered in order to be protected by copyright. The work must not be a part of another copyrighted work. The expression of the idea is what is being protected, not the idea itself. The originality of the work needs only to be a small part in order to be protected. A short title or phrase cannot be copyright protected. Any work produced by the government is not copyright protected, but is considered as part of the public domain. Works that were previously available in the public domain may not be copyrighted. Works whose copyright has expired are no longer protected. Since 1989, the copyright notice is no longer required in order for a work to be protected. Copyright applies to all works that might be posted on the Internet. As soon as the work is typed into the computer, it is considered copyright protected. Ownership of a work does not grant you copyright holder rights. After 1978, copyright extends for the life of the author plus 70 years. For anonymous, pseudonym, or works for hire, the copyright expires 95 years after the date of publication or 120 years after the date of creation, whichever is shorter. The TEACH Act updates the performance and display exemptions of the Copyright Act as it relates to digital environments. TEACH is applicable to nonprofit educational institutions or government bodies. It allows the performance of all non-dramatic literary or musical work or the reasonable display of the amount of a work that would be used in a regular classroom. The work must be presented only for students in the class and protected from further dissemination or retention beyond the scope of the course. The work must be an integral part of the class as part of instruction and must be under the supervision of the instructor. The institution must provide copyright notice to the students. TEACH does not protect from copies that were not legally made or works that were specifically created for the digital learning market. Fair use is not law. It is a set of accepted guidelines covering the safe use of copyrighted materials in the classroom. Fair use basically means that if you or your institution gets sued for copyright violation, then you will most likely not be found liable. Fair use does not require permission from the copyright holder. There are 4 factors that must be considered and met for something to be considered fair use. Is it for commercial or educational purposes? Educational use alone is not considered fair use. Using a work transformatively, by adding something new or with an additional purpose, is more likely to be in favor of fair use than verbatim copying. What is the nature of the copyrighted work? Factual information is more likely to be considered for fair use than creative expressions of works. If an idea can only be expressed in a few ways, the case for fair use becomes stronger. What is the amount of work used as compared to the whole? There is no preset amount. Fair use considers the quality and quantity of the work used. If a small, yet most important part of a work is used, then this is not considered fair use. What effect does the use have on its potential market value? If the fair use of the work becomes widespread and affects the market value of the work, then it violates fair use. Creative Commons is a nonprofit organization that provides free licensing options to the creators of a work. The options vary from allowing unlimited use of someone's work to all rights reserved, in which the creator retains all rights to the work. Creative Commons licensing does not replace copyright. It allows users to share freely with specific conditions, but without concern for receiving permission from the creator. Creative Commons uses a search engine to help users find works licensed under them. The engine searches the Internet through sites such as Google, Yahoo, and Flickr for work that is available for use. It is important to remember that all work created is covered by copyright the moment it is created, and you must retain the author's permission before using it. Additional divisions have sprung up from Creative Commons that include Science Commons, CC Mixture, and CC Learn. Science Commons is an open access knowledge management system. It allows users open access to published research and data that speeds up the research process by breaking down barriers to acquiring information. CC Mixter provides a database of remixed music available for use. CC Learn is an open educational resource that allows users access to resources for teaching and learning. All of Creative Commons is designed to give users the opportunity to share resources and work legally within the copyright law. Creative Commons has 6 licensing options available to users. Attribution is the most accommodating license of the 6, in which the user may use, modify, or build upon work even for commercial purposes, as long as the creator is given credit for the original work. Attribution Share Alike, the users may use, modify work even for commercial purposes, as long as the new creation is licensed for the same purposes, including for commercial work. Attribution No Derivatives allows the user to redistribute work even for commercial purposes, but the work must be unchanged from the original version and the creator must be given credit. With Attribution Non-Commercial, the user may change or build upon the work for non-commercial uses only, with credit given to the creator of the original work. The new work does not need to have the same license. Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike allows others to change or build upon your work for non-commercial purposes, as long as they credit the creator of the original work and the new work carries the same license as the original work. Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives is the most restrictive of the licenses. This allows for sharing for non-commercial use only, and the credit must be linked back to the creator. As technology continues to explode for personal and educational use, the conversation will need to continue regarding fair use. Copyright is an important protection for a creator of a work, but easy access to ideas allows for continued progress at a much faster rate. The issue remains how to balance the rights of the creator with the needs of the learner.